Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free, don't cost you anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a timeless reading. This energy was activated the moment you clicked on this video. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you, the Hierophant. You are a very wise soul. I feel that you have this kind of a mentor kind of vibe right now. I don't know if you have a lot of people around you that you're supervising or that you're instructing. I almost feel like you're a teacher of some kind, right? I feel that if you're not a teacher, you could be. And what I mean is that you have been through a lot of extraordinary things in your life. People could really benefit from what you have to say. Okay? So this card really is like trusting in your own knowledge, your own expertise. Sometimes we don't feel adequate. Sometimes we don't feel capable. Sometimes we don't feel like we're the right person for the job. You know, it's kind of like nobody wants to hear what I have to say. I'm not an expert in anything. It's like, who am I to give advice? Who am I to talk about some of these things? This is the card that says you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you have something that is worth hearing. Other people can benefit from you sharing of yourself with the world. Doesn't have to be through teaching specifically, right? But by sharing your life experience through your work, through your art, through your creativity, through your family, through your relationships, through your just casual conversations with your friends, right? By being confident in who you are and realizing that you do have a voice, and you have more than that, you've got something worth saying. Okay, sometimes we're sitting around with a group of people and we're not offering much. We don't feel that we really have much to contribute. You do, Aquarius. You have a lot to contribute. All right. Let's put this card into some context. This is already very strong energy for you. Very strong strength card, 9 of Wands. We have a Knight of Swords. We have the Moon card. Yeah. We have an Ace of Pentacles. Okay. And look at that Emperor. Look at that mastery of the Emperor here. I feel like you've been through a dark night of the soul. You've had a lot of, and who knows what this was. I mean, you probably have a better idea than I do, but I feel that this was probably a lot. And it probably was not just one thing. Okay. Over here we have Queen of Pentacles, looking back at the long and winding road of your life. We have an 8 of Wands, which to me feels like we need to sort of, we need to consolidate our efforts into one particular channel, okay? Trying to avoid a 9 of Swords. And there we have the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like this really is it's pretty straightforward. If we take it literally, it seems as if your pain and suffering has led you to a certain level of wisdom, right? That if you were to apply yourself in a particular direction, you could help other people improve their lives and avoid the same sort of pain that you've been through. Okay, so you're becoming a motivational speaker, you're becoming a counselor, you're becoming a therapist. You're just, maybe not becoming anything. Maybe it's just really having that confidence to speak with authority about something, right? And that's what we sort of have here. That's the Emperor, obviously, is authority, right? Becoming the person that can speak with authority on a particular subject or maybe a lot of different things. Okay? So maybe you've been through a wide variety of experiences that will allow you to speak with a certain level of authority on a lot of different subjects, okay? In order to, what I think, help other people, help things grow, right? Maybe you've been through a lot of gardening kind of things, right? And we've had a lot of experience. Some plants grow, some plants didn't. Like you've got a very sort of strong knowledge base here. So you could sort of pass that on to somebody else, and you're becoming someone that other people will come to and be like, hey, Aquarius, why isn't my garden growing? And then you can say, well, let's take a look. And you have the confidence that says, like, you can speak with authority. You can speak like you know something, because you do. Okay? It may be that you're starting a new vocation, a new job, or a new endeavor. With that Ace of Pentacles up here, I feel like there is something that you're wanting to start. And I think that you have the confidence, you have the wisdom that you can pursue this new path with authority. Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll set it right here with our little sea turtle friend right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, okay? But it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments, okay? Now, let's take a look around the room here. We've got major, major, major. I mean, this is really the spiritual energy in your life right now. This has been your life path. This has been your spiritual evolution. Dark night of the soul, dark scary forest. I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. I'm lost. I'm scared. It's a terrible nightmare experience. Guess what? You made it through, and you're all the wiser for it. You've been through the dark night of the soul. You've been through the dark scary forest, and here you are. That leads to authority, mastery. That leads you to kind of say, you know what, I've been through this. Now I can start a business like doing this, or I could I could pursue a path whereby this experience has now is now benefiting you and others. Okay, so it leads to not only the wisdom, but then that sort of authority, right, where you can feel confident in sort of using this wisdom, right, to change your life, to pursue, other businesses, other activities, and I find this to be a really, really powerful progression. Okay, but it's all about this moon card in the background, because this is that nightmare that we maybe thought never would we get out of this. Okay, but here you are. With the ability to tell that story. Okay, the question, I guess, is, what is this new pursuit? What is this new path, this new endeavor? Is this a business you're starting? Is this a foundation? How are you turning all of this experience and wisdom into a new business, a new endeavor, a new activity? How is it sort of affecting your path now? Okay. Of course, we have the fire energy. We have the confidence, right? That says, you know what? I'm stronger for having gone through this. You're stronger. You're wiser. And now we're taking command and we're saying we're going to turn this into something great. Okay. We got fire over here as well. What we don't have is any water energy at the moment. We've got a little bit of air and air. We've got earth, earth, and earth. Now, the reason why there's no water, I think the water was all bound up here. This is the moon card. This is a Pisces energy. Could be that the water energy was all spent over here. And I think it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of worry. It was a lot of, I think bad things have happened here. Okay. Let's say this was your path. This was the road to success. And it's hard to believe that the road to success is a dark, scary forest, but it is. Okay, and It's a path that is beset with a lot of dangers, a lot of monsters popping out from around every corner, coming right out of the shadows at you, right? So on your path toward this Hierophant energy, I think a lot of things happen. Maybe the path was you getting your degree at college or university or something. Maybe it was through some kind of a training program. Maybe it was just like childhood, Maybe it was a particular period of time in your life that was a major struggle, right? Because this is kind of a doorway. This is a dark, scary forest that we enter. We kind of do what we need to do. We sort of we follow the quest, and we arrive out the other side of that dark, scary forest. Okay, so this is a period of time. And if this is, whatever it might be, I think that there were a lot of other things that happened to you along the way. It's like you're striving to get through university, but then you got to deal with all these personal issues. Maybe some family stuff was going on. Maybe there were some health issues. Maybe there were some relationship things that sort of happened along the way. Nothing happens in a vacuum, right? If you're at college, you're trying to do the whatever 4-year university thing. There's other stuff that's going to happen too. Other stuff happens out in the world. Stuff happens personally with family or with our romantic life. Like there's other things, right? Well, you didn't let those other things break you, right? You didn't let them break you. You realize that it's all part of the path. And so this was something along those lines for you, okay? The 9 of Wands in the middle here, it is that confidence. And this has to connect with this, really what it is this card goes this way. It's connecting the Emperor with the Moon. See, we even have the Moon down here on the bottom of the 9 of Wands here. Your connection, this is what's giving you the authority to pursue this path. It's like you've paid your dues, you've earned your right back here. See, and this is that strength, that confidence that says because of what you went through, because of your connection to that and your experience there, it's given you the authority, it's given you the right to pursue this new path. I don't know if you're starting a business or you're, whatever it is. It's given you the authority to make this decision, right? So this card becomes that confidence, And I think the confidence is really, it originates, the strength of character originates through the trials and tribulations that you've endured. Not only did you survive, but you thrived. Okay? And I think that you have a strength of character and a wisdom about you that you would not have had if you did not go through this. Take this away, and then you take this away, and then it's just the Emperor out here trying to do something that maybe he doesn't really have any idea what this is or how difficult it's going to be. In a way, because you have survived and thrived through this dark, scary forest, this Ace of Pentacles can be anything. It doesn't have to be something related to that experience, but it's kind of like it's given you the right and the authority and the strength and the confidence and all this stuff to do anything you want. Any path you choose now, you know that you have the strength, the resilience, the courage, the wisdom, the confidence to get through it. Because guess what? This path is going to be a dark, scary forest too. This path to success is going to be beset by dangers. You're going to lose loved ones. You're going to have financial difficulties. Your relationship stuff, family stuff's going to be going on. You're going to have to think about your health. You're going to have good days, bad days. There's going to be all these things that aren't necessarily related to this, but that are threatening to break you and pull you away from this. Okay? But you have the confidence in your ability to endure that. So I think this really can be anything for you. And maybe this is really about you accepting the fact that, yeah, you know what? You've earned this power. You've earned something very significant here that's allowing you to take your life in any direction you want. What do you want to do? Ace of Pentacles, what seed are you planting? What do you want to grow? You want to grow an apple tree, an oak tree? What are you doing? You want to start a business? You want to start a family? You want to be an artist? You want to be a painter, a writer, a musician? What do you want to do? We have to take that first step. And the confidence here is originating from that past of yours, this history. Okay. Now, Spirit's saying something about a loved one that has passed for you, and I think that it might be an older male energy, but you wrote a letter to them or something like this? And I don't know if you still have the letter or if it's with them. I don't know that you ever gave it to them while they were on this plane, but you wrote a letter to a loved one that has passed. Yeah. Down beneath the surface, of course, we have our Knight of Swords. This is that decision-making ability. This is your discernment. This is you kind of realizing that, okay, if I can do anything I want now because I've got the wisdom and the authority and I've earned the right to sort of to pick my path, choose your own adventure sort of thing. What makes the most sense? I just want to be I'll be an astronaut. Yeah, okay. I'll be an NBA star. Okay, maybe. We have to make a sort of rational decision. Okay. So having this major arcana is one thing, and it's kind of like your history, right, has given you the wisdom and the authority to do anything you want in life. But now, going vertically, we have to make the decision about what is going to be the best path that will utilize our strengths. Okay, so yes, you can do anything you want. Okay, but I think that we should be practical. Yeah, we should be a little bit reasonable. Dream big. Dream as big as you possibly can, but make sure it's something within the realm of possibility, right? So we have this little bit of air energy here, which is saying, let's make good choices. Okay, but let's make a choice. I think Spirit is waiting for you to plant the seed for something, waiting for you to find out what this Ace of Pentacles is, decide to do something and commit to it and say, I've been through hell before. I'm going to start this new path, and whatever monsters jump out at me, whatever scary dragons are on this path, I can do it. Because I got that strength. I've built this strength of character. You have willpower. You have this refined inner strength, this resolve that's saying, whatever the dangers are on this new path, you can do it. You can do it. So I wonder, what is it that you're going to do now? What is it that you are going to plant the seed for? In that future position, of course, is the Emperor. I feel like this is, it's both the authority for you to kind of, to feel like you belong on whatever path you're choosing. But I feel like this is also, to me, this is also a sense of accomplishment, a sense of mastery. I feel like whatever path you choose, you're going to be great at it, And I think that this is really a sort of a wisdom and a discernment to know how best to apply our energies. Yeah, you can do anything you want in the world, but what do you feel is going to be the right thing? Okay. And I think you're going to do whatever this, if it's a new job, a new career, if it's a different course of study, if you're going to move to a different country, whatever it is, it's going to work out very, very well. Okay. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Queen of Pentacles. This is the card that's looking at the past. You're looking at the long and winding road that you had to travel through that dark, scary forest to get right here, right now, where you are. Okay? And this is kind of an appreciation for that past. This is a looking back to distill the wisdom, to realize the lessons that we learned back there in that moon energy. Okay? In that dark, scary forest. So that we can apply that wisdom to the next path, to the next step that we take, that Ace of Pentacles, right? So this is kind of a turning point. This is the point where you realize that the past is sort of, this past phase is concluding, and now it's necessary for you to recognize your strength, and take the next step into the future. Okay? We can't live in the past. If we live in the past, especially if it's a moon energy, the queens are always looking at the past, right? If we're living in this past, then we will say, you know what, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do anything that's going to put me in a dark, scary forest. I just want to do what is comfortable and easy from now on, right? But that's us kind of, being still attached to this. So we want to reflect on this experience. We want to distill the wisdom so that we can apply that wisdom to the future and continue making this sort of emperor type of progress, right? Continue doing what is best for the realm. Yeah. The queen is a very resourceful person, and so I feel like you appreciate all experience. Okay? And I don't think you're looking back at that moon card and thinking, oh, I don't want to do that again. I think you're looking at it and thinking, I learned a lot. I gained a lot of wisdom. I mean, you learned a lot about yourself. You learned a lot about the world. I think you also developed the right skills and the strength of character. Okay? And now it's kind of like, let's not let that whole experience go to waste. Let's use that experience to sort of to conquer the next path, to conquer what is in front of us. All right, so it really is about honoring that history, honoring what you've been through, not letting it go to waste, using that experience. Yeah, using everything that you've learned, right? We got to use it or lose it, right? So we use everything that we've learned. We use that strength of character and that wisdom for what? That's the Ace of Pentacles, okay? And with the Eight of Wands here in the position of the environment or of your relationships, the challenge, I think, is for you to kind of narrow it down, because this is the card that says you can go in any direction, and any direction would be a good choice. But what if there were a few certain choices that really led to this rainbow energy, that really led to this kind of paradise, to this unimaginable success? Okay. That's where we sort of need our decision-making, our discernment, because we want to narrow this down. Okay? You're not going to be able to make all that much progress going in 8 different directions at once. Okay, so we sort of have to pick a general direction, and of course my iPhone agrees with me. Which one of these will lead you, in your opinion, in your educated guess, will lead you to the most success? Okay. The Eight of Wands can sometimes be anxiety, because we may feel like, oh, I got to do something now, but I don't know what to do. Okay. Sometimes just moving in any direction is better than standing still. Yeah. And I think that this card is really saying that, look, you have a lot of options right now. And I don't know exactly what your history was or what your situation is, but I feel like a lot of doors are open to you now, and it's that anxiety of choice. It's like there are too many doors. I don't know which one to go through. You're good at a lot of things. You're capable of a lot of different things. How do you know which door to go through, right? Well, I think we need to sort of close our eyes and let ourselves feel which one it sort of feels more magnetic to you, which one is pulling you more toward it than the rest of them, Because I don't think it's necessarily an intellectual discussion. It's not something that we have to sort of create a pros and cons list and kind of compare and contrast all the different paths, right? That's going to lead to a lot of thinking and overthinking and eventually lead us to our Nine of Swords that we don't want anyway. So what we do is we try to feel, we try to close our eyes and see which path is pulling at us, okay? And then, of course, we have to make that executive decision to say, yep, it seems reasonable. I think that's a good choice. Let's do it. The mind is going to concur, right? The mind is going to sort of second the motion, And then we're consolidating this energy, and the wands, our energy, our willpower, our impulses, our intentions are going to start flowing in one particular direction. Okay? You can't do 100 things. You got to narrow it down. All right? And of course, that's the ace, right? The ace is a seed of something. And right now it could be the seed of literally anything. We have to sort of pick what we're going to plant, and we have to start working toward that. Okay, now Spirit's saying something about a family history of eye problems. I don't know if there's a vision issue or something like this. Or someone's colorblind. Yeah, someone's colorblind. The card we're trying to avoid, the energy we do not want, is the Nine of Swords. We do not want the pain and suffering and misery of that moon energy, of that dark, scary forest. We don't want to go through another dark night of the soul. I think part of your mission is to alleviate suffering for yourself and for perhaps others, or for the world itself, right? So you may literally be going into some sort of mental, emotional health, spiritual healing. Maybe you're going into the healthcare field. Maybe you're going into the legal services or something, or some kind of advocacy thing. I feel like you're picking a path that's helping others. That's helping others who are in some sort of crisis. Okay? And what we said at the beginning, where sometimes it feels like, who am I to help anybody? Like, I'm not any expert. Who am I to like, what right do I have to try to help somebody else? And I think we need to get out of that mindset. Okay, because maybe we feel like, well, you know what? I'm still suffering. I'm still healing. I still need help, and I'm not perfect. I'm still growing and evolving, so I can't help anybody else. If we all had that outlook, nobody would do anything. We'd all be suffering miserably, and we'd all be failing, right? It's such a disconnect, right? Because by helping others, we help ourselves. And there's sort of it's like a chain. It's like, we're still healing, and we're going to connect with somebody else, and they're going to be healing and improving and succeeding, or whatever we're talking about here. We don't have to wait till we're perfected, and then we go and help somebody else, because it's an exchange. It goes both ways. By helping other people, we help ourselves. By raising up other people, we're raising ourselves up too. And so we have to begin where we are. And I think that there really is, it almost feels like a chain of command. It almost feels like we're receiving help and healing, and we're passing on our wisdom and our knowledge and our experience to other people too. I'm not done growing and learning and suffering, and that's not going to prevent me from trying to share what I know with other people. And if we all do that, think of the network that we create. Think of the progress that we would make, I think, very, very quickly in life, I think Spirit wants you to do something sooner rather than later. Yeah. Make a decision about how to get involved, how to use your gift, how to use your experience and your expertise. Knowing that you're not perfect, having the humility and the humbleness, right? That says, I'm not perfect. I'm a fellow sufferer. I'm just a fellow traveler. But you know what? I've been where you are, and this is what I've learned. This was my experience on that path. If it helps you, then that's a blessing. If not, that's okay too, right? So you're not going in like you know everything, right? But there's a humility there. And it's basically about you sharing your experience with others. And if it helps them, good. Right? But sharing your experience is going to help you. And if somebody else can benefit, and they will, from what you have to say and from what your experience was back here, then you are an absolute blessing in the world, And I think that's where we have our Nine of Swords, and the obstacle, what we're trying to avoid, the energy we do not want. And of course, that is suffering, And so I feel like you really are helping others in some sort of way. I don't know if you do some kind of like crisis management, or you do some kind of intervention type of stuff, or advocacy, or if it's mental health, and maybe it's medical stuff of another kind, but you're helping others in some way. And that Seven of Pentacles here, I think, is the recognition that, we are all working toward our healing. We are all trying to grow. We never arrive at complete, perfect, success or health or mastery or growth. We're not ever fully healed or anything, right? It's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process, basically, of finding out where we're most useful in life. How can you take all this spiritual energy of yours, your moon, your hierophant, your emperor? How can you take that and contribute to the world? Where are you going to be the most useful out here in the world, right? So the outcome of all of this is that you're finding a very good niche for yourself, right? You're finding a really good place where you can fit in and be the most useful, do the most good for the most amount of people. And I think that's going to be part of your decision-making process when you figure out what you want to do with your life now. You're asking yourself, who am I? What do I have to contribute? And where is that going to be the most effective? Right? So you're looking at the world and you're identifying a need, and you're thinking, how can I fill that? How can I help out in that particular area? Maybe you're trying to do a community garden. Maybe you're trying to feed people, right? Maybe you're trying to just create, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with food or clothes or just like, I don't know, anything, all sorts of things, right? We're finding out where we can be the most useful to the most amount of people, where we can really do the most good. I want the Empress card in our mystery card. Yeah, that's what I want here. I want the Empress card in our mystery card. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Here we go. The Devil. The Devil is, I think in this case, a very positive card. It is your driving force. It is what is driving you. It's what your motivation is. It's a creative drive. It's a generative drive. It's this intense desire and drive that you have to be of service, to be useful, to contribute to the world. It's the engine of the car, right? And the engine just wants to produce power. It wants to rev. It wants some gas, and it wants a place to go. It wants to be fired up. The engine wants to roar, you know? It wants to rev. It wants to see that needle go up into the red line, you know, the RPMs there. And this, I think, it's that ambition in you. I think this is what got you through that moon phase, whatever that was for you. And I think this is what is going to drive you ever forward to further and further success and wisdom and mastery and experience through whatever path you're choosing next. It has to be one that you really like. It feels like you really want it, you know. And I think despite the obstacles and setbacks that you will inevitably find on any path, you're keeping to that path, right? This is your driving force. This is that innate desire that you have to be of service, to create, to be generous with your time, effort, energy, and or money, to find out what you're made of and to fit into the world where you can use that gift, where you can make the biggest difference to the largest amount of people. Yeah. I find this Devil card to be very ambitious right now, and you have to believe in your ambition. You have to believe that this is well-founded. Okay? A lot of good major arcana energy here today. These three are a very powerful trio. Of course, it was built up. All of this was developed back here. Okay? And now it's time for you to give back. I think this is absolutely extraordinary. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do an I Ching reading. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius on Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.